Okay, that was a very deep and incisive presentation. Am I right or wrong? Okay. For LRS, we're going to go practical. Okay, because the truth is she's done a lot of jobs. She's made my job very easy. So I'm not going to be dwelling on too many things. I'll just run through some of the expectations, what is expected of of you as a manager, promoters of SME. But I must say that she kept, towards the tail end of her presentation, she kept mentioning the importance of SME and medium-scale enterprises. There was a United Nations report that was published about 1.5 weeks ago. And the SMEs contribution to the GDP of Ghana was about 85%. Whereas for Nigeria it was just 47%. And that tells you the importance of SMEs. We might not have been able to take advantage of that, but I can tell you that SMEs, they are the largest employer of people. Forget about the multinationals and the rest. They are. So, riding on that, I want you guys to take advantage of that and try to build your business, from SME, from small scale to medium scale. And who said you can't become a multinational tomorrow? So let's just, remain focused and give it the necessary push that it requires. Okay. Now, taking a look at this, as I was saying, I'll quickly go into, the introduction. There are 3 categories. We have the micro, we have the small enterprises, we also have the medium enterprises. And if you take a look at it, for micro, they are allowed to, a labor force of less than 10, but an assets of more than 5 million. Of less than 5 million. Small enterprises, 10 to 49, and assets of between 5 to 49 million. While medium enterprises, ranges between 50 to 199. Well, 200 or whatever. While the required asset is between 50 to 500, million. I think, if I may ask, how many of us are within the first category here, the micro? How many of us? Okay. Oh, quite a number. And the second category? And the last category, the medium size. Wow, that's a good one. That means your business is doing, exceptionally well. It's small. Okay, that's good. Now, as I was saying, for the micro enterprises, for Lagos State, we have over 300 million micro enterprises, while the small enterprises about 11,000, and the medium enterprises about 609. I would have, loved to show you the breakdown of all the states, but I just felt that since I'm more concerned about Lagos, we should just limit it to Lagos State alone. So those are the, categorization and the numbers in Lagos. Now, who are the taxable persons? She's emphasized so much on that. And, every individual that resides in Lagos is taxable, except for those that, are members of the armed forces, both the Nigerian army, the police, and the rest. The remittances goes to the federal government. Registered business domiciled in Lagos. Under pay, personal income tax. These are some of the items that that they have to pay. Development levy, business premises. I'll touch on those ones later. Consumption tax, withholding tax, rent, dividends. and consultancy fees, contracts, and the rest of them. Why capital gains is on asset disposal. If you dispose your asset, there are certain sum that is expected to be paid to the state. Stamp duties, this is paid on instrument executed by individuals. Your agreement and the rest of them, for them to be, legally binding, you have to make sure that, they are stamped appropriately. Business premises levies. Even if it's a small shop that you have, no matter how small, you are supposed to pay, a business levy. The initial amount, the registration is 10,000, while annual renewal is about 5,000 naira. Development levy that is paid by every taxable adult in Lagos is 100 naira, and that is paid by annum as well. Post betting, lotteries, gaming and casino, earnings, they are expected to be taxed. Hotel occupancy, these are for consumption taxes. If you have a hotel or a guest house or an event center, you are supposed to be renting part of your earnings to the state. Now, how do you go about that? Annually, just like she mentioned, a return of your income must be filed within the first 90 days of every year of assessment. This is in line with PITA, that is, Personal Income Tax Act. How do you go about that? Walk into any tax station. If it's, for corporate income tax, you go to federal tax stations. If it is for the state, you go to any local tax stations and be assessed by the authority. Once that is done, you are free to collect your ETCs. You apply for your ETCC form. I have some forms here that I will distribute and show to all of us on how to go about that. Now, necessary proof of accounts must also be prepared. If you don't know how to prepare, your books of account, you can, avail yourself a consultant who will do it for you, who would also advise you professionally. Most often, the challenge with most organizations is that they don't know how to go about it. All you need is just get a consultant and discuss with them and agree a fee. Now, at the commencement of your business, and it's very, very important, you must go to an LRS station. You must register there, and you'll be given a number. Annual returns on all emoluments of your staff are also expected to be filed annually. There's a form for that, and that is in line with Section 81, subsection 2 of PITA. PE deductions on a monthly basis must be made in the prescribed form for all the emoluments of your staff. Be it two, be it one. Even in a situation where you don't have one, you must feel it. Just put a nil there. All business owners also have to apply and obtain ETCC for the employees. Notify LRS of relevant organization changes. Peradventure, there are changes, in your organization, staff exits, and the rest. You must notify LRS accordingly. Now, what are the consequences of non-compliance? Any employer who fails to file returns as prescribed shall be liable to a conviction of a penalty of 500,000 for corporate body and 50,000 for individual. This is, this can be found in subsection 81. Or in a situation, she was talking about some of the, challenges of corporate organization that some organization, used to encounter in the course of their business or in the course of, relating with tax authorities. The thing is, most forms are not filed appropriately. But if you're able to do this, you won't have to suffer any penalty or, or conviction. Refusal to keep books of accounts shall also attract a penalty upon conviction of 500,000 for corporate body and 50,000 for individual. That is refusal. There are two different things there. Failure to file returns and failure to keep proper books of accounts. You can get an accountant. You don't have to get a permanent accountant. You can get one who comes in once a month, to help you with your books. Failure to deduct or remit tax within 30 days of the deduction also attracts penalty of 10%, which you had earlier mentioned. Now, these are the forms that are currently in use by LIRS. Form A has to do with your income tax form and claims for allowances. All your allowances, you can make claims for it after you have, stated, your monthly earnings and the rest. Form A is an abridged form. It's self-assessment which you can use to assess yourself personally. But this is soon to be abolished by LIRS. We found out that a lot of people that earns a lot of money go to tax stations and just feel whatever they like. We have someone who is a billionaire in this country that went to a tax station and filled a self-assessment form. We want to abolish this because it's been taken advantage of. From H1, this is for employers' annual declaration. ETTC form, this is for the procurement of tax card. Your tax card, once you've paid your money, fill the form and a card will be made available to you. From HLC1, registration is for registration of form for hotel occupancy. The moment you establish a company to run, a guest house, a hotel, a restaurant, or an event center, this is the form you have to fill, and we'll give you a certificate to that effect. From HCL2 is for remittances of your sales, and taxable amount every month, and this must be submitted to LIRS offices or the nearest tax stations. Now, what are some of the things that we are looking at in the next, in the next few months and in the course of the year? Introduction of filing annual returns by email in order to make filing of returns and the rest, much easier. We've also provided 24 customer service to attend to all inquiries, on taxes. Provision of mini tax station at strategic places. That is ongoing. Upgrade of MTCC. MTCC is what is called modified tax clearance, and it's for traders and the rest of them. But we want to convert everything to electronic tax card now. So that is going to start, in the course of the year. We're also trying to educate all our people and, on how to relate with the owners of SMEs and the rest. We will also assist in the filing of tax forms and the rest. On this note, I want to say thank you. We'll be ready for questions. Thank you for listening.